Hello, it's Gary Jordan with the Jordan Property Group and eXp Realty coming to you today to talk about our monthly real estate market report. I'm not the expert, but I got the expert with me today. A good friend of mine, a 20-year plus veteran in the real estate business from Dallas, Texas, Scott Schuler with Keller Williams. Scott, welcome today. Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Leo, I mean, when I'm out and about visiting people and talking about stuff, whenever somebody asks me if I'm a realtor or what I do, and I say I'm in real estate, the big buzzword now, a big buzz question is, how's the market? And so I'm always talking about the market and what I'm thinking the market is, what I'm hearing about it, and so forth. And everybody's market is different depending upon where you live. And so I can tell you a little bit about my market. But Scott, you're in the Dallas, Texas area.
Yep.
How's your market in Dallas right now? What's going on down south?
Well, in Texas, in general, is geopolitically a very popular place to relocate. So we've got people relocating here from California, Illinois, New York, moving to Texas, and a lot of people are moving to the DFW Metroplex. So we've had a sustained demand here for the past few years, and obviously we had a little bit of a pent up supply issue when COVID hit. Where we're at right now in the DFW Metroplex is we have 2.4 months of inventory on the market. As you know, Gary, a balanced market is 6 months of inventory. 6 months of inventory would be like you could sell your house. It would take you, 2 to 3 months. Or if you were buying a house, you would be able to go out and look at property at 5, 6, 7 properties and find 2 or 3 that you may like, and then choose one and negotiate the price down. This is not a balanced market that we have here in the Metroplex. Still 2.4 months of inventory is a lot more than we had a year ago, 48% higher than a year ago. But it's still a seller's market. It's just, we're not getting 10 offers on houses anymore, 15 offers. You might get 2 or 3 if it's priced right.
Exactly. That's similar here in the Colorado Springs market. We have a good strong market here, good demand. Like you said, Scott, our inventory is better than it was 6 months ago when it was extremely low. It was a very imbalanced market then, but we're still here at about a 2.2 month supply of inventory. Better than it was, but it's still really kind of a seller's type market. The fact that the mortgage rates, which is a big buzzword in the last 6 months, have gone off a cliff basically as far as rising rates in the last. It took a lot of buyers, especially first-time type buyers, out of the market.
Yeah.
So that slowed things down a little bit. In my situation here in the Colorado Springs, Southern Colorado area, things did slow down quite a bit, especially during the holidays. But me personally, I've been really, really busy since the 1st of January with homes coming on the market, and I'm looking forward to having still a good solid year. How about you, Scott?
Oh yeah, I think that the year 2023 will be good. 2022 was really, really good for me. I don't think we're going to have that kind of a banner year. Probably not, but I've been doing this now for 20 years. So, you have a really good year, you stick your money away, and then you can kind of prepare yourself for a little bit of a slower year. We just have right now what's happening. I mean, inventory is, like I said, is still low, but the volume of sales is down pretty significantly from last year. So, and it definitely plays, the biggest role is definitely the interest rates, because it's pushed a lot of people out. I remember the National Association of Realtor economists predicting last year this time that he thought at the end of 2022, we would have interest rates approaching 5%. But there were some external factors that they could not, predict, like the war in Ukraine or whatever else goes into these interest rates that brought it up, even above 6%. So it's definitely pushed back on people's buying power.
Yes, of course, in the last 6 to 8 months, the mortgage rates have doubled in value in the overall price. Back in the early part of 2022, they were down as low as even in the high twos. But 6 months ago, they were at about 3.2%, And as of in January, although they changed daily, but they were about 6.4. Now there's all kind of different mortgage rates, and depending upon your situation, I'm not a mortgage guy. I'm not the pro. I just tell
Right.
you some general thoughts that the better your credit score is, the more money you put down, and so forth, the better rates you can get to, because it's all about risk and reward. The less risk you provide for a mortgage company, the more reward they're going to give you by having a better mortgage rate for your home.
Right.
But the good thing about it is, you viewers right now, is the fact that mortgage rates do seem to have a slow, modest trend back down. They were up above 7%, a month or so ago, during the holidays and such. And even though 7% sounds really, really high, I've seen it at 17% before, many years ago. So it's not a crazy, stupid high rate for a mortgage. It's just compared to 2.75 or 3.2, 7 does sound kind of high. You agree, Scott?
Yeah, well, I would agree with that. First house I bought was at 6% at the time. That was a really good interest rate. So now we are here at 6% again. But the big difference, I think, is that the first house I bought was $150,000. Now that
Right.
house is worth $450,000. So when you're doing an interest rate at 6%, it's still it affects people's buying power. And I know when you said you've seen 17%, but the homes at that time were selling for 89.9.
Different world for sure, no doubt about that. We know I saw a really nice image on social media here last week. It was comparing this particular lady was screaming at the person or whatever, said, "I'm not going to pay 7%," just screaming, livid. And next little picture beside it was a very astute looking, cat all dressed up in a tuxedo, looking over a plate of food and so forth, and said, "Well, rent is 100%."
Yeah.
So if
No
you're
doubt
renting
about
right now, it's the idea of paying 7% versus 100% is a sweet deal. Nobody loves you more as a renter than your landlord, because you're making payments for your landlord. You're creating equity
Absolutely.
in that real estate for your landlord. So if you are a renter, I just encourage you to get with a good mortgage professional and just have a conversation. It's complimentary, doesn't cost anything, and see if you do qualify to purchase a home. And if you don't qualify right now, put together a game plan to show you how you can qualify and a possible timeline to get there. Because I can assure you, you paying your monthly payments for your own self, you be your own landlord, is a lot better history wise than paying it for somebody else.
Oh, I totally agree with that. Not to mention that rental rates are just going up through the roof right now. In the DFW Metroplex, rental rates are up 8% year over year from last year. And, if you lock in a mortgage rate of 6.5% or 6.25%, at least you lock it in. You lock in that payment, and you see the mortgage rates drop down again, which they should within the next couple of years. You'll drop back down, hopefully low fives or whatever, high fours, and then refinance it. But at least that way you can lock it in and you're not at the mercy of the landlord, who every year is going to raise rent. 63% of people that live in rentals in the DFW Metroplex renewed their lease at an 8% increase.
That's rough. That's a
rough.
rough deal. What do you think? What's your idea as far as what do you expect home values to do in the next 12 months in your market, Scott?
Oh, I think that they're going to probably trickle up a little bit. What are the stats here? From in 2022, prices were up 25% in the Metroplex. I'm sorry, from 2020 to 2021, they went up 25% in the Metroplex. Last year, they went up 11.3% in the Metroplex. And as you know, I mean, it stopped in July. The crazy increase of value of homes stopped in July when they rose interest rates above a certain number.
What we saw the similar here in Colorado Springs. There's about a 2-year period there during COVID when rates are very, very low, and everybody was realizing they don't have to work in a cubicle at an office all the time, can buy a home, live where they want to, and so forth. For about 2 years there, we were having about 20% annual appreciation in our home values in this market.
Yeah.
As you said, Scott, 7 months ago, when all of a sudden the interest rate started, going up significantly, it created a pause. But still, there was no market crash in home values. The economic reports I see and hear right now by the so-called economists, experts, they're predicting across the board nationwide to be a kind of a flat market this next year as far as appreciation, but still some appreciation, maybe 2 or 3% versus 23%, which is totally insane. I've always believed as a professional realtor that you can average a 6% annual appreciation in your property. You're doing very, very well, because especially you factor in all the tax advantages and so forth. So right now with the increased inventory we have, which is still not excessively large inventory, but it's increased inventory, I believe, and I look forward to your comments, Scott, it's created a good environment for the buyer to all of a sudden have an opportunity to buy a home at a fair price without the crazy competition of the cash investors and so forth we had these past 2 years.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. If you were a buyer that got really, really frustrated because every single house that you found, that even if you liked it just okay, it still had 10 offers on it, and you were getting pushed out, and you decided to go ahead and rent for a year or two, I can tell you that this is a good window to be able to secure a property without a whole bunch of competition. You can go out there, you might actually find a couple homes that you like. And if you do get into a multiple offer situation, if the home is just hit the market and it looks absolutely fantastic, you could get multiple offers, but it's not going to be anything like it was a year ago where there were 15 offers on a house, maybe just a couple offers, greatly increasing the chances of you being able to secure something.
We know it's a better situation for the buyer now, much better, but also it's not a bad situation for the seller too, because keep in mind, as Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, inventory is still very, very low. There's still really strong demand, especially in markets like where Scott and I happen to be. And I had 2 listings in the past few weeks, came on the market since the 1st of January. Both of them had multiple offers, not 20 offers, but 2 or 3.
Yep.
And one sold is under contract at full price. Keep in mind, full price after appreciating 20% per year.
That's right.
During the COVID.
That's right.
And the other one is under contract for about 40 grand above list price. Mm-hmm. So there's still some strong demand out there. Just a matter of fact, with this normal market we have right now, you as a seller, you've got to have a good professional realtor to guide and direct you to make sure your home is staged properly, and find out what staged properly means. Get it professional photos where this home's going to really, really show well on the internet, because people do the shopping right now online.
That's right. These homes are not going to sell themselves. You don't need to be going with someone who's inexperienced. You should be working with a professional. This is your most valuable asset. I can guarantee you that working with the right professional, someone who's on top of the market, all the showings, all the feedback, and is in constant communication with you, is the type of guy that you want to be working with right now.
Well, Scott, I appreciate your time today. It's some good information. If anyone wants more information about your local market and would like to have a complimentary home evaluation, see what your home is worth, see what your real estate account balance is right now, reach out to Scott or myself. Scott, how do they get a hold of you?
You can email me at scottdallasrealtor@gmail.com.
Super. You can email me also at gary.jordan@exprealty.com. Be happy to provide you some good information, no obligation, and I believe knowledge is power, and that's why we're having this broadcast today. Any final words, Scott?
Giga Maggies. Go Eagles. Yeah, I know I'm in Dallas. That's probably not very popular, but I was born in New Jersey. Sorry.
Well, one thing with Scott and I have in common, besides being realtors and good friends, we are both Texas Agri graduates. I appreciate that, Scott. Gig them to you too, man. Take care now. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good one, Gary. See you.